Come make a glass flower with me at Hot Shop Valpo.
I forgot to show the selection process for all the colors, but basically any color you have in mind and any design you want, they'll make happen. You just saw them lay out the pattern that we chose and add a little circle in the middle. That way we can add the green for the stem. And then we also heated up that rod so that we can start adding that molten glass to it. After that first gather, we brought it over to the table and we started rolling it back and forth, kind of making a cattail kind of flower shape. And then we did another gather and started rolling back and forth again. And this time it was more of like a light bulb shape. And this is where it starts to get a little more fun. We did our first press into the table and we started adding those colors that we chose earlier, making sure just to press down on all sides. That way those colors really absorbed into that glass. And then we brought that back over to the furnace where we started twirling it again. And that's when the colors started to kind of blend together and create that pattern that we talked about earlier. You can't really see it that well on camera, but you get the gist. We then pressed it down for our final press into the floor just to get that flatter shape at the top, and then we popped it back in and I went and took a seat over on the bench, making sure to grab my texture tweezers. And then this is where we started to pull those petals out, and we did 6 for this flower. That's the 6th petal. And then we started to pull on every other petal just to kind of form a more natural rounded shape like a flower. And this is kind of where you start to see it all form together. And this part really made me nervous. This is where we started to pull out the base of the flower to form that stem. And it was such a quick process. The whole thing only took about 5 minutes from start to finish. And you can see my sister pop in real quick. They really are super helpful there, and they really guide you through that whole process from start to finish, so it's a lot less intimidating than it might seem. He's gonna snap the flower off the base, and we had to heat the bottom of the stem just to make sure the edges are nice and round, and then after a day of cooling, it's done.